There is some speculation on when Kelvin arrived on the island, and this also brings up the question as to when exactly the Purge took place. Director Bobby Roth released the script of The Man Behind the Curtain, which confirmed that the Purge had originally taken place in 1992, and some fun info: the Dharma pit of dead bodies had literally 50 bodies in it. Some believe that the Purge took place in 1987. Here's when it gets interesting. Danielle Rousseau's team arrived in 1988 and didn't see any other survivors, and the radio tower was transmitting Rousseau's message for 16 years, and Dharma never changed it. It is possible that the others took control of the radio tower prior to Rousseau's arrival due to a territorial dispute perhaps, so the others never thought to change it after that, which is unconfirmed but widely speculated. Danielle Rousseau also never died by the Purge, but the producers confirmed that the gas from the Tempest wouldn't reach all corners of the island. The Lost Experience said that Dharma's funding was cut in 1987. The Lost Encyclopedia dates the Purge as 1987, but has been known for getting some facts wrong. The Truce states that Dharma's residency on the island shall last no longer than 15 years, which the truce was struck in August of 1973, stating, "All facilities and personnel are to leave the island," which would have been 1988 from the truce date, but 1985 from the time of Dharma's arrival in 1970. Here's where the 1987 date gets tricky.
Bend over.
Kelvin Inman was in the Gulf War from 1990 until 1991. Which would be after Dharma's funding had been cut and after the 1987 dated Purge. But this means Kelvin joined Dharma after 1991.
We were talking about the Purge, and this just gives you a little bit of a sense of where we're going in Season 5. The Purge is going to be something that comes up. And when it happened, and we know when it happened, but we were asking Greg Nations, our trusty script supervisor and keeper of all things continuity,
record.
you know, what have we told the audience about when the Purge happened? And he goes, well, all they really have to go on is that Kelvin recruited Saeed during the first Gulf War, and yet somehow managed to get to the island and to push the button in the hatch. So the assumption would be that the Dharma Initiative was still up and running in the early 90s.
Iraq War I.
And we said, that's their assumption, but is that the truth, Carlton? Is it possible that the Dharma Initiative recruited somebody after the Purge?
It is entirely possible that they recruited somebody after the Purge.
Is it likely?
That I don't want to say.
Okay.
When Ben killed his father, he checks his watch.
Why do you keep looking at your watch? You got a date?
It's a watch from the year 1992 as seen by the Indiglo backlight feature. Horace Goodspeed tells Locke in his dream that he has been dead for 12 years in 2004, which would mean he died in 1992.
That's probably because I've been dead for 12 years.
In The New Man in Charge, Ben says, in 2010, that
the Dharma Initiative hasn't existed in almost 20 years.
Ending in 1992 would mean that it has been 18 years, nearly 20. Ending in 1987, however, would mean that it's been 23 years, over 20 years. This creates two conflicting years for the Purge, 1987 and 1992.